blood bleeding over Folly Beach. Shrimp boats rocking just out of reach. Marsh grass swaying like it knows my name. Same old river, but it ain't the same. Spanish moss in a live oak tree. She's barefoot dancing right next to me. Got a Dixie cup full of Tennessee gold and a story that her daddy told. We ain't in no hurry, baby, let it roll like the tide coming in on a Carolina soul. Here living on low country line, salt in the air and whiskey on ice. Girls that smile like a summer night under those Charleston lights. From the backwoods to stand on to a dock where the redfish run. Yeah, we don't need much to feel just right. Just a little love and Saturday night. Palmetto moon in the shotgun sky. Dove blind waiting as the birds fly by. Camouflage and a thermos cup. Cold morning air gonna wake you up. Downtown King Street neon glow. She laughing loud at a country show. Got sand on boots from Sullivan Shore. Says she ain't leaving, wants a little more. Every mile marker down Highway 17 feels like a memory wrapped in gasoline. We're living on low country line, salt in the air and whiskey on ice. Girls that shine like a harvest moon, singing every word out of tune. From the pine woods to the ocean side, we run these roads like a rising tide. Yeah, we don't need much to feel just right. Just a little faith and a Friday night. Cypress knees and Carolina rain. Football lights and a freight train. From Columbia down to Beaufort town, you can feel that heartbeat in the ground. Raise it up for the old homestay, for the ones we love and the ones we wait for. Every backward memory made in the life where the good Lord stay. We're living on low country lines, whiskey burning, sweet tea wine. Girls that love like a hurricane, but kiss you soft like summer rain. From the deer woods to the attic blue, there ain't no place like me and you. Yeah, we don't need much to feel just right. Just South Carolina and a Saturday night.
Gentlemen, may I have your attention, please? The show starts in 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go.
You're listening to the House of Cards on Facebook, YouTube, and BigPatriotRadio.com. All licenses for music and content have been purchased by and are for the express written use of the Big Patriot Radio networks. All information, opinions, and topics are for entertainment purposes and do not expressly represent the opinions of the show's host and or producer. Sit back, relax, and enjoy. And good evening, everybody. Welcome in. Welcome. So glad to have you here with us on a Thursday night. It is May 28th, and I am coming to you live. I'm Mike Covert, coming to you live from the Big Patriot Radio studios here in the great state of South Carolina. I'm kind of surprised, actually, with the storms that have been coming through out here where I am, that we're even able to get up. I can see the camera is a little bit of latence with it. So hope it all comes through. Welcome to everybody watching on Facebook, YouTube, and listening around the world on bigpatriotradio.com. Just got the word today that we were asked to license into the UK. So, of course, we're doing that. Nobody's tuning in there yet tonight, but we'll see what happens. Hey, thank you so much for joining in. And if you're on Facebook, we always tell you, to be sure to smash the like button, share the stream with your friends and your social media networks. Also, if you're on YouTube, do the same thing, share it, follow us, subscribe to us. It's all free. That really helps the show with some gaining traction in the social media world. And if you can, go ahead and get your smartphone out and give us a snapshot right here of the QR code. That'll take you to buymeacoffee.com. And it is such a cool place to go. You can become a member. It's very inexpensive, or you can do a one-time, just buy me a cup of coffee. We greatly appreciate it. And we want to thank all those folks. I do this every week, and I mean it from the bottom of my heart. We appreciate all the folks. PB of Bluffton, thank you for your support. Yahoozy 12, and any Mostar. I know I'm getting that wrong every week. In Pardo 523 and BG, thank you for all your support. Thank you to Gemini 8224, Bob and Chuck 180. New members, Cad M17, Peter Cottontail 26, and Cliff W53, that is. We appreciate you and all your support. You all are very appreciated. Go ahead, click on the old QR code there and buy me a coffee.
Bringing you the best selection of hits for your listening pleasure.
Yeah, so let's get into it.
BigPatriotRadio.com.
Hey, just a reminder, if you'd like to have your business logo, name, and recognition on the election night show coming up on June 9th, right here on Beaufort County's House of Cards and BigPatriotRadio.com, we have sponsorships available. Reach out to us on social media. Or you can email us, bigpatriotradio@gmail.com, and let us know what you're looking for. Ads start at $50 and go up from there. And if you look right up here in this corner of the screen, there you see one of the sponsors of the election night show, Sounds Better Now. They jumped on board. Also, Uptown Auctions, they jumped on board. And we'll have them up here. You can have your logo on the screen all night long. In and out, big, small, whatever the package is, mentions, taglines, whatever. We're real easy. That's June 9th, primary day for all political parties in South Carolina. And speaking of Sounds Better Now, this is a service that a lot of people talk about but don't really know who to call. We all don't want to call the big box, what do they call the Geek Squad or whatever they are. These folks at Sounds Better Now specialize in audio and video installations and repair. If I had to repair mine, I would be lost. They offer services from simple speaker replacements to an integrated audio-video streaming project, like an audio or a video wall, which I would love to have right here behind me. Give them a call, 843-330-3124. That is 843-330-3124. Sounds Better Now. Appreciate them coming on board. Changing lanes right quick. You saw from the title of the show, has the mysterious SUPER PAC move in Beaufort County been figured out? Well, let's talk about that. There's a technique political operatives love because it sounds civilized. It sounds constructive, even somewhat compassionate. They call it the feedback sandwich. I wrote about this the other day on Facebook. Compliment, criticism, compliment, bread around the poison. And in ordinary life, maybe it could be harmless. Maybe your boss tells you you're doing a great job before explaining why the report was late. Fine. But in politics, in strategy rooms, the feedback sandwich becomes camouflage, because the goal is no longer honesty. The goal is compliance without resistance. First comes affirmation. You're one of our strongest allies. You've done incredible work for the movement. Nobody questions your loyalty. That's not kindness. That is emotional positioning. Political operatives are great at this. It lowers defenses. It creates this psychological debt. It tells the target, you belong here. Then comes the blade. But people are concerned. You may want to rethink your tone. You're creating problems for the coalition. You need to fall in line with the party. Notice how criticism rarely comes from a named person. It's always people, some donors, leadership, anonymous authority, unverifiable pressure. And then comes the final layer. We know you'll do the right thing. We believe in you. You're too valuable to lose. The last compliment isn't reassurance, it's containment. It reframes surrender as maturity. And again, this is the feedback sandwich. The danger of the feedback sandwich is that it launders coercion through the language of professionalism. It allows the operatives to isolate dissent without appearing authoritarian. Nobody yelled. Nobody threatened, nobody got upset, nobody issued an order, but the target walks away, understanding exactly what happens if they refuse to follow the demands. And because the exchange sounds polite, outsiders often miss this type of manipulation completely. That's what makes it effective in political ecosystems. A consultant can pressure a candidate to abandon an issue while maintaining plausible deniability. A donor network can discipline activists without ever publicly attacking them. Party insiders can marginalize reformers. They can marginalize them while still claiming unity and civility. The sandwich becomes a delivery system for power. Even worse, repeated exposure trains people to self-censor. Eventually, this brainwashing, the criticism section no longer needs to be spoken. Targets learn to anticipate it. They begin editing themselves before leadership ever calls. That's how institutional cultures calcify. Not through dramatic purges, not through public decrees, but through thousands of polished conversations where approval is offered conditionally. Approval is offered conditionally, and dissent is wrapped in compliments until people stop recognizing control when they hear it. The most dangerous manipulation is rarely the loudest. It's the one that sounds reasonable. Now, let me say this. This is just a hypothesis. I have talked with or communicated to and with every one of the 5 candidates in Beaufort County Council's this mystique around this SUPER PAC buy, this digital media buy. I've talked to every one of them, and no one, according to all of them that have responded to me, and I have no reason to think any of them are telling me anything but the truth. No one has taken any dark money. No one has been approached by any developers, PAC officials, etc. And very important to realize, the SUPER PAC sending out ads, digital mail, or whatever you want to call it, so far is completely legal. it's within the FEC guidelines. Now, interestingly enough, this past Tuesday at County Council, there was a fellow there by the name of Robert New. He spoke up. This is the same guy who was adamantly opposed at the Pine Island plant. I mean, this guy led the charge. Why did he speak? What does Pine Island have to do with the super PAC? So I spoke to the developer and the owner of Pine Island, Mr. Elvio Tropiano, and asked him directly and succinctly, and as all of our conversations have been, is the super PAC you, or are you part of it? His answer was, hell no. He said, I don't even know what you're talking about. We discussed it from there. So I asked, has anyone asked this? And I mentioned that because in the social media ads, all but one, Beth Gillespie's ad was completely different than the rest. And that one still perplexes me, where it talks about Mark Lawson being asleep at the wheel, whatever. The other four were directly about development and building and things like that. And it mentions big developers. So Robert New, he happens to talk about, he was against big development on Pine Island, and he made this comment at County Council. All these pieces of the puzzle starting to come around. So, I mean, has anybody asked this guy, Mr. New, I mean, do you have any information about this? He made his own, I assume it's him, because he brought it to County Council Tuesday night and had it's in their agenda, this document, this graphic about this. Do you have any information about the PAC, Mr. New? Seems like the talking points of the PAC's ads and his graphic are closely related, be it on purpose or by accident. I don't know. The people do want to know. And interestingly enough, let me see if I can bring this up. Let's see here. Someone sent this to me. And when I asked them, I said, hey, how'd you come up with this? This was some information they put in to AI and wanted to know what is the connection between Dustin McIntyre, who is the treasurer of said PAC, Super PAC, and the name of the PAC, which is LowCountry Alliance for Balance. You see here, and this is what the AI spit out. Dustin McIntyre is a well-known professional political compliance officer and a campaign treasurer. He has got, I'll let you read this. He's got tons of these super PACs all over the place, when national political groups, consultants, or local organizers set up these PACs or run issue ads, which is what this is, development-related campaign, they frequently hire professional compliant entities to handle their paperwork. That's what this guy is. It's kind of like when you start a business, and if you incorporate, you have to have a registered agent. Well, if you don't know one, and most of us don't know one, places like everywhere you can incorporate, they have access to registered agents, and you pay them the pittance money, and they are your registered agent of record with the Secretary of State. Anyway, because of this, his name, Dustin McIntyre, appears regularly on FEC and state filings through the ethics commissions and FCC public inspection files. Now, as it says, if a new local PAC or independent expenditure group, which is what I think this really is, if it was recently formed to run ads on Hilton Head, Mr. McIntyre may have been hired to act as the official treasurer, which is what his title is on the paperwork, even if he has no personal or political ties to South Carolina. Now, some folks were saying, well, you know, he... Let's see if this screen changes for you. He's got an office in Charleston. I don't really think he has an office in Charleston. I believe. Let's close this one and go to the next one. Hold on. I think that is just a mailbox, if you will, for the so-called Super PAC. So anyway, I'll leave that alone. Interesting information. We're going to talk a little bit more about that as we go along here tonight. I did receive notice earlier that the website was down. And this was like right before getting on here, that the website was down. Interesting. Now, I've talked to all of the candidates again. Like I said, all of them have no earthly idea what this is about. There have been some people in Beaufort County that have made comments about, there are certain groups pushing this and they're sticking their neck out for their candidate. Look, I don't think any of these candidates know anything about this. This is unprecedented, but nobody is dumping. The Beaufort County Republican Party came out with this very, very strange speech or document that how tragic this is, that this dark money is being pumped into our elections. Okay, but we don't know who it is. We don't know what their reasoning is. And quite frankly, we don't know who is involved. And that could be anybody, from the party to a developer, anywhere else. Nobody knows. There are some hypotheticals going on out there. And as a matter of fact, the document that let me bring that up here. Let me see if I can find that. There are some that's not it. There are some ways that we are going to actually use from this. That's not it either. That we are going to look into a couple of here it is. We're going to be looking into a couple of things that may tie some things up for us as we go along. And let's see if we can't bring this up here. Let's see if that works. All right. So the emergence of the Alliance for LowCountry Balance out of Charleston, paired with Dustin McIntyre, who is out of Alexandria, Virginia, up near D.C., it reveals what kind of political entity you're dealing with. The group is intentionally designed to sound like local grassroots community, protecting Hilton Head and the surrounding LowCountry, but the operational DNA points to a highly coordinated professional political strategy. That right there, that changes the tune. They're using the guys, this is allegedly, as a developer when it's a professionalized political strategy. Could it be from a political end of the spectrum? These 5 people are not the 5 the establishment wants. We've seen that by Ms. Jodan Lee, who recently put out her slate, if you will. None of them are on there. Strange. The strategy is a pop-up dark money PAC. The reason this PAC is difficult to find via generic internet searches is by design. I've told people all week that what they're doing is completely legal. The timing of this, when they register with the South Carolina State Ethics Commission, and between that time and the time they have to file showing donors and all that, is such that they don't do it till afterwards. You see right there, their first mandatory financial disclosure report isn't due until after the voting concludes. Now, Alliance, let me go back to that. Does that make it right just because it's legal? No. It's one of the many finance campaign election things that need to be changed from a federal and a state standpoint. I could go on forever about that. Now, the branding. This is what AI picked out. The name Alliance for LowCountry Balance is selected through a strategy called astroturfing. It's designed to mimic local conservation or civic groups, masking the actual special interest or political faction funding the operation. Astroturfing. Wow. Who would be astroturfing? Would a developer or a builder or a big real estate mogul, would they be interested in astroturfing a feedback sandwich in Beaufort County? I don't think so. I don't see it. I just don't see it. If this was back before Sun City was built, I can see the political dollars changing. So who is it? Who is it? And when will we know? I really look forward to that first FEC filing, because then we get a look. Then we get a look at their books. And let's take this a little bit further.
Bringing you the best selection of hits for your listening pleasure.
Yeah, so let's get into it.
BigPatriotRadio.com.
All right, County Council released the report of citizen-led TAC, or the Transportation Advisory Committee. We were the very first outlet to publish their wish list, and that was last night, matter of fact. And it is, get this, make sure you're holding on to a seat. $780 million with a collection period of 9 years. $780 million. Now, I want to show you a snapshot of what exactly, let's go over here. What does that mean? What are we talking about here? So let's look a snapshot, if you will. This is and I've got this color coded. There it comes up. Color coded for you to look at. Green is north of the Broad, and there are actually 3 pages. Blue, that's Hilton Head, and then yellow, that is Bluffton, Pritchardville, Okatee. All right, I didn't do them all. Anything having to do with municipality direct stuff, or Defusky, or dirt road paving, that kind of stuff I didn't do. But here we go. Here are some of the and county-wide stuff I didn't do. For north of the Broad, Rebo Road, Ladies Island Drive, turning lane, $4.8 million. Rebo Road improvements, $28 million. Ladies Island Drive, Meridian Road, $8 million. 21 at Chowan Creek, $3.8 million. South Carolina 170 north of the Broad, $6 million. A causeway on Warsaw Island, $4.5 million. B.E. Wheatley Drive and SC 170 Signal, that's $1.5 million. Rebo Road and Depot Road intersection, $3.7 million. $19 million for the gateway to Port Royal, $1.1 for Grover Hill PI Gateway. Downtown Beaufort Crosswalks, $2.8 million. SC 802 and Shorts Landing, a signal there for $1.3 million. Old Jericho Bridge, $1.7. Grover Hill improvements, $8.3 million. Joe Frazier and Middleton Road Drive, that's $4.6 million. Laurel Bay Joe Frazier Circle, $5 million. Laurel Bay Bay Pines, $4 million. 21 in Shanklin Road intersection, $690,000. 21 in Rosada intersection, $850,000. And ITS design and implementation for the Woods Bridge for signaling is $690,000. Middle Roads SC 802 Circle, a new roundabout, $1.8 million. Guardrail, $140,000. Robert Smalls Neal Road, $4.6 million. Trash Parkway US 17 and Trash Parkway US 21 resurfacing, that's $12.5 and $46.5 million apiece. Sea Island Parkway resurfacing, $11 million, almost 12. Sam's Point SC 802 resurfacing, $5.3. Paris Island Gateway in US 21, $12.2 million. And 2 more, Highway SC 128 resurfacing, $4.8 million. Robert Smalls Parkway and SC 170 resurfacing at $42 million. That is a total of $253.6 million north of the Broad. So if you look at stuff south of the Broad, in Bluffton, Pritchardville, Okatee, you've got a diverging diamond interchange at 170 and 278. That's called McGarvey's Corner. That is $18.1 million. SC 170 46 in Pritchardville, that intersection, $10.2 million. SC 462 realignment out there by Ace, going into Jasper County, that's $19.7 million. Bluffton Parkway 46, that's the circle, we call it downtown, $6 million rework. 278 Sun City Signal improvement at almost $3 million. 1.8 million for 278 Buck Island interchange improvement. Same thing at Simmonsville, 2.2 million. They want to improve Bluffton Parkway, 7.1 million. Not sure what that's improving. SC 46 and Gibbet Road, a signal that is at the Old Country Store, $4.6 million. Evans Way, SC 170, that's by the Wendy's in Four Seasons. signalized intersection with a specialized pedestrian area. I'm not sure what that's all about, but it's for safety. $7.8 million. Right in, right out of Bluffton Parkway and Goethe Road. $1.2 million. Median closings, they're going to close several along 278, $1.3 million. Resurfacing Goethe Road for $420,000. $811,000 for South Carolina 46 and Stardust Lane, the signal there. Buckwalter Parkway, $4.3 million. Widen here's where the big money comes. Widen SC 170 from 4 to 6 lanes from 462 out by Ace to 278 at McGarvey's Corner, $103 million. Widen SC 46 from SC 170, that's the circle in Pritchardville, to Jasper County over the New River Bridge. That's $44.1 million. Widen 278 from the Jasper County line, across the street from USCB, all the way to 170. Again, the other side of McGarvey's Corner, from 4 to 6 lanes, $51.9 million. Buckwalter resurfacing and Bluffton Parkway resurfacing, $25 million. And 278 from McGarvey's Corner all the way to the Hilton Head Bridge, resurfacing, $21.9 for $334.5 million. $65.2 million is what they've got, dimed out for Hilton Head, the new Sea Pine Circle. $15.6 million. Gumtree Road improvements, $15.6 million. $1 million for Spanish Wells, William Hinton Parkway. Squire Pope and William Hilton Parkway improvements at $14 million. Main Street, $9.5 million. The William Hilton Parkway Chaplain Corridor area, $9.1 million. That's a total of $654 million. Now, the ones I didn't include: dirt roads, municipality-owned roads, resurfacing Defusky, a traffic signal deal countywide. That's $130 million for a total of $780 million. Now, I'd love to hear what you have to say about that. I did put that up on Facebook the other day, and I said, I gave this list and said, hey, what say you? I want to hear from you. What do you think? I don't know. The last I looked was, I don't know, probably 5 or so. At that point, I didn't have anyone jumping up and down saying, thank you, may I have another? Like to hear from you. What do you think about that? I spoke with County Councilwoman Vice Chair Tab Tabernick earlier about it, and it's a pickle because of a couple things. One is the number one question that is asked by a lot of folks is, hey, what about the 2018 1% sales tax for transportation referendum? How much of that did it all get finished? No, it didn't. How much is left to do, and how much money is left? All interesting comments that need to be answered. I understand. I also understand that there are infrastructure things that need to happen. They have to. $780 million at one time because the county was led by, in a very piss poor manner, in my opinion. $780 million because some political bodies can't be trusted. I think that is a large no. If county council is still having to get the trust back from the citizens, so this list, yes, there are things that need to be done. There are a lot of things that would like to be done. I get it. It's time that they pull up their big boy panties and their big girl panties and strap on their pencils, sharpen them very good, and whittle this list down. I appreciate, and I talked over, it was either text or Facebook or whatever, I don't remember, a young lady who was on the TAC, and I told her, hey, I appreciate what you've done. I've been there prior to being on council. I have done that. I know what that's like, and it's a thankless job because everybody has a wish list, and that's what that is. That's just one big wish list. Now it's time to whittle that list down to the things that have to be done. Keep in mind, there's only 3 asphalt companies around here. You can only lay so much asphalt in so much time. So hopefully some folks will, with smarter heads will prevail. We'll be watching this.
Bringing you the best selection of hits for your listening pleasure.
Yeah, so let's get into it.
BigPatriotRadio.com.
All right, 7:35, 25 minutes before the top of the hour here at BigPatriotRadio.com in Beaufort County's House of Cards. We got a hell of a show the rest of the night. Shoot. We're going to do something a little bit different. I haven't done this in a while. It's been probably a couple years or so, but we have a co-host tonight. Tonight, joining us, going to bring him in here. He's back there in the green room. He is a real local, and it is a green room. That's right. He's a real local. When people say, hey, where are you from? I'm from here. I'm from there. And a lot of people say, well, not many from here. Well, this guy's from here. Grew up just down the road a piece or up the road a piece in Varnville, South Carolina. He started working on Hilton Head in the 70s. Tells you that's back when there was a swing bridge. A swing bridge. He got there just after they canned the pontoons that people used to go over. He went over there on a swing bridge. Moved to the island back in 1975, 4 or 5, and he lived there for 45 years or so until he recently moved 4 years ago out here to Bluffton. He calls himself a romping, stomping conservative, and I can vouch for that. I will vouch for that. You can see him at just about any event there is, and once in a while, if not all the time, he's got man's best friend right there with him. Please join me in welcoming a true local powerful voice and a hell of a nice guy, Mr. Barry Ginn, to the show. Barry, how are you? You're on mute there, partner. Let's try it again. Let's see. Unmute. Can't unmute your guest because they chose you muted yourself. Try now. No, can't hear you. And you're still muted. You might have to hit that little microphone in the bottom right corner sometimes. It says you're unmuted now. Can you hear me?
Can you hear me?
I can. Look at that. There he is.
I want to thank my assistant, Jackie. She's a school teacher here. She's a great mom. She lives down the street. I called her up and said, please help me.
How are you, my friend?
I'm doing good. Good.
Good.
I gotta tell
Jackie, if she's there.
You might not have heard anything about your post on Facebook, but if you were in downtown Bluffton today and you happen to live out on Pinckney Island, you absolutely heard about the changes that were going to come to 278.
Oh Lord!
And they're ticked. Look at what they did on 170 coming to 278. They did that crazy turn on the lane. I mean, you see people just absolutely confused every time. I don't know who these people are in Columbia, but I wish they would come down here and talk to local people who drive these roads every day and live here every day and put up with the BS that we've had to put up with for years. I mean, Pinckney Island has been, there's no development down there. It's completely residential. Right. And they're going to close that. They're going to close their ingress egress. They're going to have to go all the way down to maybe Berkeley Hall and turn around, come back up. It's crazy. I mean, you know what? I just wish they would fix our roads. Don't tell me what you're going to do. Don't tell me how you're going to do it. Just fix the roads. They're talking about the bridge. They're going to ruin the most beautiful entrance in the world, to Hilton Head. Fix the bridge. Work with local authorities on traffic. If they have to give, if Hilton Head has to give more money for traffic safety to the sheriff's department. Give it.
Mm-hmm.
We've been beating this horse up ever since I've lived on Hilton Head, and it's been 50 years.
Yeah.
I've seen more change and more screw ups in my lifetime than one man should ever have to see on just one beautiful island.
Amazing.
You've got all these special interests, and I really like what you were saying about there is an underground movement that people don't realize. I don't want to say they fix the elections, but they certainly put their finger on the scale as much as they can for one candidate or another.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, look at what they're doing to Tommy Ritz. Here's a guy that I want to say, I want to thank the person that called you and I good old boys.
I know.
Let me tell you, I appreciate that. Because let me tell you, I've been a good old boy all my life, and I'm proud of it.
Mm.
Something. Good old boys are usually very, very upright, church-going, God-fearing people who really like to live under the radar. And I mean, I like to eat watermelon. I like to have a cocktail every once in a while. I'm just, if you want to call me a good old boy, I damn sure like to eat barbecue.
I hear you.
Everybody knows me, and shrimp. I mean, we live in God's country here.
Mm-hmm.
I wake up every morning saying, I love the LowCountry.
Absolutely.
I want people to understand that we have more than just a golf course, more than just a beach. I'll slam on brakes to go look at a 300-year-old tree.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, look at the history we've got around here. I mean, I love it. I just love all the different aspects that we've got. We've got a signer of the Declaration of Independence right down the road, his grave. How many people have stopped by and looked at it? It's wide open. All you got to do is drive down there.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's just unbelievable, the history that we have here, the history of the Civil War, the history of the Revolution.
Yep.
How much history we have here, and people don't appreciate it. And instead of, and I want to really thank you for one thing. When you talked to me 2 weeks ago about coming on this show, I thought you were just blowing smoke up my, what. But then when you sat there and said, okay, you're coming on, I went, wow, then I reckon I need to do my homework. and you know what? I was surprised that how many great people we have running for office.
Yeah.
Never, ever be known. And hopefully we can bring that to light tonight. I mean, there's really, I thank you, because for one thing, you really made me do my homework. And
well, you're welcome then, buddy.
I know everybody wants to hear about the PJ Cipher versus Woodward.
We'll get to that.
But we're going to talk about.
Let's start with you had mentioned Tommy Reitz. Let's start there. Tom Reitz, incumbent, District 11 County Council, running. He's a GOP, and this is all pretty much GOP. Anyway, he has an opponent in the race in Dr. Libby Galloway. What are your thoughts on that race?
I think Tommy. You want to hear a story about me and Tommy?
Yeah.
I'm sitting on the back of my BMW convertible in Shipyard, and this goofy little guy rides by on a bicycle. He pulls up and starts talking to me. And I was thinking about running against David Ames for town council. And that's what I was thinking about. And Tom comes up to me and he starts to introduce. He says, I'm from New York. I'm down here. And I'm thinking about running for town council. I said, well, that's interesting, because I may be your competition unless you can tell me why I should support you. Mm-hmm. And that's the history. And you know what? Tommy went out and knocked on every door, and you could see the good old boy system of Hilton Head, mm-hmm. who pick and choose who's going to run and who's going to win, go to work. They ate him alive, just tore him to pieces. but he had a base.
Mm-hmm.
And so when the councilship came up and he went out there and he had his game plan, and he's one of the smartest guys and the most caring guys I've run across. Now, he's a New Yorker, but I got to tell you, he's got just as much of love, if not, there's nobody can have more love than LowCountry to me, but he's got the same amount of enthusiasm about the area and trying to preserve it as much as can to keep changes and keep people making stupid mistakes. But he's just one on that council. I think what they did to him by taking his phone and just really whipping him.
Yeah.
To see, I think that was just such a disgrace of what it showed was how inefficient the jail system was.
That's exactly what it showed.
And how if the sheriff's department didn't like you, they were damn sure going to go after you. And anybody to tie up the poor guys, he didn't have a phone for 4 weeks.
Yeah. Well, what about this Libby Galloway? What is her? You know, she came out of nowhere.
I can't find anything about her.
I mean, I hear she can clean teeth really well.
Huh?
I hear she cleans teeth and can fill a cavity pretty well. But I mean, other than that, I don't know.
I don't know who put her up to it. I don't know what's going on. I just,
Yeah.
And I think Tom, Tom, he's got everybody in his district going to vote for him.
Oh yeah, Tom
and everybody out of his district wanting to vote for him.
Yeah.
I don't think Tommy's got a problem.
The only thing I'll say about this race is, when you look, having been in those shoes, and somebody wants to run against you, you say, okay, well, what did I do? What did I not do? What's left undone? And for the first time in decades, Tom was the first one to fix a stormwater problem in that district down there in I guess it's the Palmetto Bay, that area down there.
Yeah.
Rodman completely ignored it. It was just ignored. The town pretty much ignored it because the county ignored it. And Tom did, what Tom does, and he got it fixed. So I see Tom.
He is a force to deal with. And that's why the people, and I call them the underground movement of Hilton Head and the powers to be, wannabe, don't like him.
Yeah.
Because he did something nobody's done. And it's been a problem. God, it's been a problem since I can remember. I mean, we've always had a problem in that area with stormwater. I mean, it got to the point where if you rode down Spanish Wells Road, it was like a river on both sides of it.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm very proud of Tom. I'm very proud of him. I think he's a survivor. He's very tenacious, and people they don't they look down on him. I don't mean that in a bad way. And Tommy looks up at him. Well, Tommy's pretty short too, but he looks up, and he's always. He is such a positive individual.
Really is.
And I think with a couple of the guys who have been old timers on that council and new people coming in, I think Tom will shine. I think Logan Cunningham has been a force in there also. I think. Go ahead.
Yeah, let's move into County Council District 8. Currently, Paula Brown is a GOP candidate. She is the incumbent, and she has an opponent in Craig Gordon. Craig Gordon happens to be the, I guess you would call it, chairman of the county's Transportation Committee, the CTC. Input, thoughts from you on there before I give mine.
Well, if he needs to go to work, is working on his transportation. I mean, he needs to help us out. You know, when I ran for mayor in 2016, and everybody was sitting there, I said, workforce housing, people who live in Allendale, South Carolina are not going to move to Hilton Head.
Mm-hmm.
They're not going to do it. What we need to do is take, share ride and create momentums. And if people need help on their houses and stuff like that,
Mm-hmm.
we need to enhance them. I think if that's indeed what he is up to, Hilton Head has always turned their back on actually the fuel that fuels the fire on Hilton Head, and that's the worker who comes from off the island, and they've always turned their backs on them, and I have always had a real problem with that because I grew up in that area. I did that commute for years. For 2.5 years before I moved to the island, I did that commute. So I understand what it is. But you know what? When you've got people who are entrenched in their families and in their way of life, and we have third and fourth generation, fifth generation people who have worked on this island.
Mm-hmm.
If this guy is indeed thinking about transportation, if that's exactly what the job description is,
the interesting thing, the CTC commission, that is a commission that's set up by for each county has this, and it's a General Assembly thing. Their like job is to pave roads. So when you sit back and you think about this $780 million wish list, I want to say, hey, Craig, what the hell have you been doing? Why have I got to spend $780 million? Granted, all of it's not paving roads, but a big ass chunk is. When you're taking tag money, okay, and other forms to fill the coffers of the CTC, why are we doing this again? I don't know.
I'm just a dumb old country boy from Varnville, South Carolina. But when they pave a spot over here and leave the biggest hole in the road
over there,
what the heck are they thinking? I mean, if that's indeed what his job description is, then he's failed.
Yeah.
And another thing is most of and I don't know if this position is appointed or not, but most of these positions are appointed in favoritism. And I was on the Water Commission at PSD number 1 on Hilton Head for 8 years. And my claim to fame was getting everybody fired to become an elected position, because when you're an elected officer and you've got a responsibility to your voters to do the right job. If you're appointed, you've got an obligation to do or not do anything the guy appoints you if you want to keep your job. Right. I've always thought these guys, Beaufort Jasper's one of them. I think all those guys should be fired. Who the hell's in the charge there? I mean, every once in a while you say there's a new manager. Well, what's the new manager doing? Right. The new manager's saying, well, listen, we just really screwed up. You know,
we'll talk about that here in a little while. But
so I mean, the bottom line is, I think Paula has done. I think what I'm seeing, and I don't live in her district, okay, and I'll be honest with you, it's hard to find a bunch of stuff about these people. You know, I mean, I did a lot of research on a lot of different people, but it's really hard to find their websites and stuff like that, what they're all about. Right. But I think Paula is probably going to be. I think she may deserve another try, because I think because of the people going off the county council, new people going on. I think this county council is going to evolve into a lot of Tommies, you know, and I think that's good, because I think Tommy's an inspiration for a lot of these people, you know, of going out and seeing what their voters really want, right? Going back and disappearing.
One of the positive things I'll have to say, you know, when I think about Paula is it has to do with the green space. She's been very active in that, and matter of fact, in her district, and I think she may be watching. And so forgive me for the wrong numbers, but they have protected like 14,000 some odd acres of low country land. And I think they either just did or are getting ready to. In her district, it's like 400 acres or something. I'm assuming over there in the Victoria Bluff, over that way somewhere. And there's not a whole lot of land left. But, I mean, she's been a very positive force in keeping the low country and not going vertical. So, there's that.
How many new people are running for Beaufort County Council?
How many new? Oh my gosh. I don't have them added up, but it's a bunch.
I'm trying
let's say this. The only ones that don't have anybody running are one, two, three districts. 3 districts don't. The other 8 do, and one of those is unopposed. So there you go.
They're all new.
Well, we got several incumbents that are running, so the turnover will be at least 3. Joe Passament, Larry McEllen, and Alice Howard all said we're done, we're out.
Larry,
so there will be at least 3.
I like Larry, but Larry needed to go.
Yeah,
Larry.
All right.
I like him. I like Larry a lot, but he needed to go.
Let's go over to County Council District 9, which is in the greater part of Bluffton, Palmetto Bluff, some of New Riverside, but downtown Bluffton. Mark Lawson, incumbent. I think he's been there for 2 terms, maybe 3. He is facing a newcomer in Beth Gillespie, trying to take that seat. Oh, and it also includes DeFusky.
Well, I think Mark is in my district. I tried to find Beth. I've heard good things about her. I've heard really good things about her. I'm on the fence with Mark. And that goes back to the Tommy situation with the jail and all that kind of stuff. I'm really on. I thought everybody on that council should have come in his defense. And I think I think I'd probably have to go with Beth.
So let me give you my input. I'm gonna start with Mark. As a friend, Mark's a great guy. I've known him a long time. He's a great guy. I think he means well, but when you're known as the county council member who doesn't call people back, that's a problem. When I was on county council, I had more people from his district call me than my own. I'm not on county council, and I still have people from District 9 calling me because they can't get a hold of him. Now,
if I have a problem, I call Tommy.
There you go.
So I didn't even, to be honest with you, until I started doing this research, I didn't even know who Mark was.
Yeah, and that's a problem, Barry. That's a problem.
I mean, that is a problem. I think
speaks volumes.
I think Beth, if I can help you, I want to know what you're about. I will say this: the one thing that you got me to do, and I started to go vote early the other day, and I'm so glad I did not, because I think in the next week you're going to really hear a lot of things, and you can go on my Facebook page and you can see who I'm voting for. I mean, if they shine, I'm gonna put them out there. I don't even, Kim Malthus in Jasper County, I think is a sharp lady. I like her. I like what she's about. I like the fact that she's local. She cares about her community. I mean, I'm gonna put it out there. I'd really like to hear what Beth's got to say, and I'd like the opportunity to come back and tell you about it.
Absolutely. Well, she was on the show, I don't know, 2-3 weeks ago. Hopefully we'll have her on here again. She may be watching right now too. She is in the insurance industry. And one thing that she made a commitment to, and I'm not speaking for her, but she made a commitment to that, hey, you need to reach me. You will be able to reach me. And she means that, or at least she told me that. People on DeFusky, same thing. That is, it's sad that the number of times that I've had conversations with people that live on Defusky, and I'm not talking about Hague Point because they're going to be taken care of. I'm talking about Defusky, rural Defusky. It's almost like the county could give two rats behinds about them, and that's wrong.
It's been that way forever.
Been that way forever, and that doesn't make it right.
No, you know what? What I don't understand is we are the biggest generator of tax dollars in the entire county.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and we are still the redheaded stepchild.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just that, you know, a long time ago, there was an attorney on Hilton Head named John McKay. John McKay and I were trying to get people to withdraw from Beaufort County and become our own county because of the tax dollars that we've given. And you know, it goes down to the school system and stuff like that. Schools suck. You know, how many times in this year have we seen teachers get in trouble? You know, I mean, wait a minute, who's manning the chicken coop, man? You know, who's doing this? Who's looking after these people? You know, I could go on and on about stuff like that, but I'll tell you what, right now, there are some awesome people on Defusky Island.
Yeah.
Jake Washington was a good friend of mine. He was the devil crab guy. Made some of the best peach wine ever.
All right. I'm getting thirsty here, buddy. Let's talk about District 5, which Joe Passamit occupies that seat, and he has decided to go on to bigger and better pastures. We got 3 people in the GOP field running for that, Barry. Joe Mariano, Joshua Hauer, and Mary Jeans Otto. They're all running for the GOP nomination. Have you had any input on them before I give you mine?
No, but you know what? I'd like to hear about it because, you know, I think people got to know. Yeah. Like I said, you know, it was really frustrating because, I mean, I did a lot of research for this thing today. Mm-hmm. And I hope that reflects before we're finished.
Absolutely.
But I was very disappointed in trying to find who was running in local elections. I went on the Beaufort website, mm-hmm. and I mean, you can do it on the state website. You can download all the candidates, you know, for statewide elections, but you could not download, not that I could find, and I'm not the best on computers. I had a teacher down 2 doors down come here and turn on my mic. Yeah. So you know, I'm not the best on computers. I don't like computers. Computers don't like me. But it was very frustrating, and you don't see anything on Facebook or Instagram about these people running. What are they? So are you sitting out there trying to be elected by not telling people and you know, showing people every day what you're going to do, why you want to do it, all this kind of stuff? Tommy Ritz, good example. If you want to win an election, you go by what Tommy's doing every day. Will you post this? Will you repost this? That's what wins elections. Sorry to bring, you know.
Nope. Go well, let's talk about that. So Joshua Hauer, we've had him on this show. Young guy. I affectionately call him a kid, but he's a young guy. Let me tell you what, smart as a whip. The guy, I'm very impressed with what he has to say. His ethics that I've seen on the campaign trail, I like him. Now, Joe Mariano, I have met him. Matter of fact, at the last event that you and I were at, I met him there. He's supposed to be on here next week, so I'll learn about him. Mary Jeans Otto, I have tried to reach out to her twice now with no reply, and I'm very vocal about that to the public. And if you blow media off, and especially this media, I have no use for you. You know, if you can't take time to tell me and have a conversation about what you want, what your plan is, then I don't have any use for you. So you may be the nicest thing since you know, a Rolls Royce came out, but I'm looking at Joe and Joshua right now. You
know what? I don't disagree with you. You know, when you sit there and you try to find, and I mean, one thing I can't operate is Facebook, and you can't find things, and you cannot find what they're all about. Then, that tells you if they're not out there telling you on a daily basis what they're all about.
Yeah.
And this is a small county.
That's right.
And we've got a lot of friends, and we should see. Also, if you're in any district and you've got a candidate you like, please share it on my Facebook page because I'd like to see it.
Absolutely. We do have a listener, a viewer rather, Karen. We can do better. SC Mitchell. What media in the LowCountry focuses on South Carolina instead of Georgia? That's this one right here. You got it. You want to know what's going on? This is the one that'll tell you. I appreciate you tuning in.
Press last week, you had over 2,000 people watching.
Yeah. Another great friend of mine, CD1 debate they were discussing. That was tonight, by the way. We have 6 military bases in this district, this congressional district. What is county council doing to protect these bases from terrorism? How are they helping the federal government? Is the federal government doing anything? I'm ground zero. All great questions, and hopefully we can get you some answers, Helga. That one I'm going to save. Barry, before we get to the sheriff's race, and by the way, folks, it is 5 minutes past the top of the hour on BigPatriotRadio.com. In District 4, which is, we have a lot of listeners over in north of the Broad, people like Helga. District 4, which is Port Royal, Shell Point, and a Mossy Oaks area of the city of Beaufort. Alice Howard has that seat, the chair, and she is retiring. Thomas Gragowski and Michael Anderson are both running for that seat. They've both been on here. Both seem to be very, at least in my opinion, both very eloquent speakers. They're two different people. I don't see a lot of, they don't carry a lot of shit with them, as I like to say. I see them just doing what they do.
I've been trying to watch my language ever since we've been on the air.
Yeah, I know, but I'll take the hits. I don't want you to take them. I'll take them. But anyway, in my personal opinion, I'm leaning towards Michael Anderson to represent that district. Not anything against Thomas Gragowski. I think he is I think in the future he will be necessary for either that seat or Port Royal or the town of Beaufort. I just think Anderson brings other things to the table as far as accounting. We need that. We have a bad accounting issue in this county. What say you with District 4, if you've looked into them?
I'll be honest with you, I have not. Like I said, it was very frustrating because you couldn't find out who it was in the websites. I mean, like I said, the state website, you just download the ballot.
Yeah.
I couldn't even find I found the ballot, but I couldn't download it. I couldn't copy it.
Yeah.
And so
these seats are.
I'm kind of in the air on this one. I'm sorry.
Yeah. No. These seats, you've got. What's that?
I will find out.
Yeah. Let's go ahead and let's talk about the sheriff's race. JoJo Woodward, 35 plus year experience, law enforcement officer, born, bred, raised right here. And Doug Seifert, I think it's 15, 20 years, somewhere in there. I'm not really positive. Retired or quit 10 days after getting promoted as a lieutenant to run for sheriff. Go ahead and kick it off.
Well, you really want me to tell you what
you think? You have a couple stories that you can go through, can't you?
Oh, I do. Look, JoJo called me up one day and says, Barry, what's it going to take for me to support you? I said, JoJo, it's early in the race. You're really going to need to, next week or so, we'll get together. We'll sit down and have a cup of coffee. You can tell me what you're doing. So Tamara Becker, and I just think the world of her. I think she's a great councilwoman, a town councilman. I think she just does a good job. I really like. She invited me to her kickoff party, and I was there, and I love Maria Walsh. She was there. I've had 2 run-ins with the tax, and I always come out One time I won, one time I lost. I always feel good when I leave. I mean, I think, and we'll talk about that later on. But so I'm mingling, and I see Doug, and I've heard good things about him. Nice guy, great wife. I heard more about his wife than I heard about him. And so I went up there and I shook his hand. I said, Doug, I'm Barry Ginn. And PJ comes in between us and says, don't talk to him. He's a JoJo guy. And I looked at Doug and I said, Doug, I'm going to tell you right now, JoJo did call me. He wanted my vote 3 days ago. And I told him that we'd have to get down. I would not commit to him. Mm-hmm. And I said, but I want to know about you. And what happened next was so shocking that I really couldn't believe it. Mm-hmm. But it was not the first time I heard it from this guy. And PJ said, well, JoJo's sick. And I looked at Doug and I said, Doug, you see all these people out here? And I pointed like this. I said, you see all these people? They're all from Hilton Head. I'm the only one from Bluffton here. And the reason why I'm here is because when I talk about people and how good they do, like how good a job Tamara Becker does, people listen to me and they form their opinion about who they're going to vote for. And I walked away from him. I went to my car. I called JoJo Woodward up. I said, JoJo, I am going to support you to the end for sure.
Yeah.
For sure. How unbelievable rookie was. I mean, what a disgrace of a guy who's done and PJ's done a good job. He's done a good job. He's kind of screwed up the last 4 to 8 years, but he's done a good job. And I support him. I support him financially. I support him with my vote. And here's a guy with a BS like that. Just totally, just absolutely blew me away. We're not, there's not an election against Schieffer and Woodward. It's an election between PJ and Woodward. PJ hates JoJo Woodward. JoJo Woodward, I've sat with many, many times. If anybody wants to find me on Friday afternoon, they can find me at the Cigar Shop Tobacco Road on Hilton Head. And I will be smoking a cigar. JoJo went in there and he sat down with these people and they were Seaford. They were voting for Seaford. Mm-hmm. I said, let me just get JoJo in here and let him tell you a story. I thought JoJo would be there for 15, 20 minutes. He was there for an hour and 20 minutes. And he walked himself through everything that he wanted to change. JoJo is a man on a friggin' mission.
Yeah.
He's got something to prove.
Yeah.
Seaford, nice guy, nice family. Son just turned 21. He's just not ready for prime time. 5 events where they had question and answer between the two of them. PJ was there 4 of the 5 times. PJ has been like a mother hen around him. Yeah. You know what? If you're going to retire, go away.
Yeah.
Go away. Leave us alone. You're gone. Your history. Go away.
Yeah, and like you said, I mean, he's done a fine job.
He's done a
great
job.
For 30 years or something like that. I mean, people joke for years about, you can find him on the golf course. Well, you know what? Now you don't have to take that. Go enjoy it, for gosh sakes. But let Seifert, let him be his own man. You don't have to be his daddy.
I love first responders. Mm-hmm. I love the sheriff's department. I love our military. Obama was my president. Clinton was my president. Biden was my president. Trump is my president. I may not agree with them, but they're my president. That's the way I look at life. And that's the way everybody should look at it. If you're going to be an American, be a friggin' American.
Yep.
PJ blew it. He blew it with St. Helena. He blew it with Tom. And he blew it with the kid in the video with the gun. And Seifert was there. I have a problem with that. let me tell you what, if you're going to be in prime time, you got to be a bad MF, man. You just got to go. And this is the top job for the county.
Mm-hmm.
This guy is going to make sure we're safe.
Yeah.
PJ couldn't even say we're safe.
No.
PJ for 15 days went MIA with St. Helena. 15 friggin' days. We were on national news. Where was PJ?
Yep.
And let me tell you what, my brothers and sisters that live on St. Helena that I've been eating shrimp with all my life and crabs, they were scared to come out of the house.
Absolutely.
Because their chief of staff, the head guy at the sheriff's department, didn't have anything to say.
But he did, at a press conference, tell the I don't know if you saw that or not, but told I put this on Facebook the other day.
Hey, we're not business.
He said, I will shut you down. I mean, I don't know. Is that what the sheriff should be doing? I'm a public information marketing guy.
How about solve the crime?
How about solve the crime? How about, make something positive, not something negative? Have you ever watched, and I'm not saying we should mimic this, but you're talking about, the chief law enforcement officer kind of in a big county like this kind of needs to be a badass. I mean, I understand that. Have you ever watched in Florida? I think his name is Jody. Grubb.
Yeah.
I can't remember the county. You know what I'm talking about?
I lived down in Florida. I lived in this county. He was a badass then. He's a badass now. Let me tell you what. That's what I want to see in Beaufort County. You know what? It was really kind of funny. And somebody pointed this out to me. They said, have you noticed how many things are now being posted that Beaufort County is doing? And let me tell you what. Every time I see a deputy, every time I see a Bluffton policeman, I say thank you for your service. At May River Fest, one of the Bluffton cops walked by me and I said, thank you for your service. He was 4 or 5 feet past me, stopped around, turned around and said, thank you.
Yeah.
You know what? People, it's amazing because like I said, EMS saved my life 15 years ago. They saved my son's life 40 years ago. Every time I've ever had an issue, and let me tell you, my house got broke into in Hilton Head Plantation. And he works for the county now. Bromage found my shoes and my pistol. And I said, what about everything else? He goes, we only concerned about the pistol.
Hey, a good friend of mine, maybe of yours too, I don't know, the sheriff of Jasper County, Chris Malfors,
he's my hero.
Yeah, this guy, I've got stories about him. He is awesome. Anyway, he just, you can see him on the screen there. He's talking about Sheriff Grady Judd. That's his name.
That's it.
Down in Florida. Dude is a badass. Let me tell you what, Chris Malfors, that's another badass. I've told this story. I don't want to get off
crime in Jasper County.
I don't want to get off topic here, but let me tell you a really quick story. This guy, and I've known him a long time. I swear to you, he could get on the side of 95 and just start doing this. And he'll know when a car's got pot or drugs or whatever. He'll know it. The guy's a genius. It's badass.
I repost everything. If I see it, I repost it about Jasper County. I'm so proud.
Oh man,
he has really done a good job. And JoJo's there. JoJo heads up the drug task force over there.
Absolutely.
I got to tell you, I went to 3 funerals this past year. All fentanyl, all young people. It crushed me. It really did. It's such a shame. And I heard of another person dying in their sleep. And that's exactly what. I mean, let's wrap a bow around the sheriff's. Race. Is it a landslide for either one? Is this a tight race? Your opinion first. I'm not going to. Let me tell you, I think JoJo has done a wonderful job. I think JoJo is not at the bar drinking with his buddy who's going to pull a gun on the kid. Yeah. I think JoJo is going to be in church. I think JoJo, like I said, JoJo is on a mission. He's got something to prove.
Mm-hmm.
Seifert is being handed the throne.
Mm-hmm.
That's the difference between the two of them.
Yeah.
And let me tell you, I want a guy that's on a mission.
Oh, yeah.
County.
Absolutely.
And that's JoJo Woodward.
I agree with you, partner.
I think JoJo Woodward is the man.
Yep.
And I hope if anybody's listening and they're thinking about it, let me tell you, I do think Doug is a good guy. He's a great family guy. I think his wife is fantastic. Went up to him at the Republican thing out at the Republican Party,
mm-hmm.
and told him the reason why I cannot support you is because PJ is like your guardian angel. He's everywhere with you.
Yeah. And
you know what those people did? They took a video of me and put it on there. And you know what? That's very immature. And that's I would have to say that's probably PJ.
Yeah, that was
disingenuous. I don't want to point the fingers, but that's probably PJ, you know. And you know, another thing, if you're going to be a sheriff, look, people insult me on my Facebook page all the time.
Have you seen mine?
If you've seen mine, I mean, they insult me all the time. And I don't give a shit, you know. I don't care. I think it's healthy that people share their opinions. But when I really thought, and if people are listening and they're undecided about who to vote for, I try to tell people it's very simple. If you get upset about a picture and you come out and say, I don't like this picture of me.
Mm.
And let me tell you, and I'm a voter, you just lost my vote.
Mm.
And then, and I'm a Heather Rath. Heather Rath and I don't think she likes me. I don't really care whether she likes me or not. But I'm gonna tell you right now, she's straight up.
Oh yeah, she's smart.
She's not going to do anything that's going to jeopardize her position, and she's going to ask the hard questions, and she's going to expect the respect and answer the questions.
Yep.
When then Doug said, you guys were biased.
Yeah.
A sheriff is going to deal with biases every day of his life.
Great point.
Every day of his life. That's his job. Doug, God bless you, man. You know,
yeah.
I know you gave your job up. You shouldn't have given it up. Really shouldn't have.
I'll give you my 2 quick points, and we're going to go to the governor's race. I've known JoJo a long time. That's not why I'm voting for him. The drug task force that was just taken away by PJ Tanner, I think was a huge mistake. JoJo has insisted that's coming back. The highway traffic, the HEAT, as I call it, program, that was a great program underway. I knew the guys that were in it. PJ shut it down. JoJo has said and bringing that back. Those are 2 key things that I am so impressed with. Another one is financial. And some people may say, well, what does that have to do with the sheriff's department? It's got a lot to do with the sheriff's department.
Big deal.
Doug Seifert came out and said, everybody's getting a rate. I don't know what it was, what the amount was. I don't know, 3,000, 10,000, whatever. It doesn't matter. But I've heard
5, I've heard 10.
Yeah, the math did not math, if you know what I mean. Now, JoJo Woodward came out with an article, and I called him and we talked about this. I said, bro, I just got really impressed, and I'm not impressed easy by pretty much anybody. I said, I just got impressed because you were talking about salary compression. That's another way of saying when your mouth is writing a check that your ass can't cash. Okay? You can't just say, okay, all the officers are getting $10,000 more, and that's going to bring in more officers. It does not work that way, and you know that, Barry. When you're dealing with a budget, and already the sheriff now has asked for, what is it, like 12% or 11% over last year. Give me a break. And we're just going to influx this major amount of money, irregardless of what the budget is. That, to me, Barry, tells me someone that does not understand the financial, because the sheriff's department, my friend, it is a business.
It is
like
a business.
Not, it is a business.
I'm glad you brought that point up because, I was going to say that. What I like about what JoJo is saying, and did you see him on WHHI?
I did.
He did a great job.
Great job.
Let me tell you, if you don't think this isn't a business and you don't think you have to work with a budget, then you're kidding yourself. And the one thing about it is, PJ has had a fight with the town of Hilton Head for years.
Yeah.
And evidently there's money in there in escrow. And JoJo is the guy that can go in there and work with these people. I'm really kind of excited because I think JoJo, and I don't want to speak for JoJo, okay, but I kind of get the impression that JoJo sees the importance of working with the Port Royal Police Department, the Beaufort Police Department, the Bluffton Police Department, and I think that's where PJ has always had an attitude that I'm the big dog, and I don't care what little dogs do, but I'm the big dog, and if you mess with me, I'm gonna take my toys and I'm gonna go home.
Yeah,
I saw PJ make huge mistakes years ago, and again, you're not in the inner workings, but you only know by the hubbub on the street. And I used to cook for Goebel and Adair, who were on the drug task force. They would be working all night. They'd call me up and say, listen, you got anything? Yeah, I said, look, I love to cook. I'll have something for you when you get here. These guys were awesome. And they really took their job seriously. But years ago, we were spending, I think, anywhere from $75,000 to $100,000. I may be totally wrong about it, on training new deputies that were here for a year and gone because they couldn't get a raise. Now, wait a minute. The one thing that JoJo really focuses in on is how to retain those guys. And why wasn't that done 10, 15 years ago? I mean, exactly. I think I was still in Hilton Head Plantation, so that's over 15 years ago. I mean, so I think JoJo really is, like I said, JoJo has got something to prove. He's not being handed anything.
That's right.
And I think he's going to work with the people in the sheriff's department.
I agree.
And I think the attitude will change.
I think so too. No more bully. It's time.
No more. PJ, I could go on about PJ. Yeah. I'm worn out about PJ.
I hear you. Let's go to the governor.
I mean, PJ, go away. Leave us alone and go retire.
I love you, Barry. I love you, man.
I actually got it. I don't know what he's trying to do, but I got a text message from PJ supporting Alan Wilson just a few minutes ago. I'm PJ Tanner, Sheriff of Beaufort County. Well, no, you're a has-been. Yeah. You're out the door. We like what you did, but the last 8 years has been kind of shitty. So we just go away, leave us alone, take your ball and go home, or take your golf ball and go to the golf.
There you go. That's right. I want a sheriff with a gun, not a 9-iron. Anyway,
I hear his handicap has really come down.
Well, Governor, who is going to be in the governor's mansion, my friend?
Oh man,
I'm not there yet. I'm not either, man. I gotta tell you, Joshua Kimball. He didn't even make the stage last night and 2 nights ago. Senator from Spartanburg.
A really smart guy.
Yeah.
Pamela Evans, she's gone.
Yeah.
Nancy Mace, I couldn't vote for Nancy if I tried. Ralph Norman, I think, kind of blew it last 2 nights ago. Alan Wilson, I mean, Alan, he's a stand-up guy, But the guy who really impressed me was Ron Reddy. He took on I don't know about the poll numbers, but I'm gonna tell you, he is a force, and he, you know what? He's a rich man with a grudge, and I like that.
We had that situation years ago, right?
I'm sorry.
We had that situation in 2016 for the president. We had a rich guy who was pissed off, and he said, "We're going to change things." It's pretty similar, isn't it?
I gotta tell you, I think Rom, and I tell you what, he did such a good job. I went back and watched the first debate.
You see where he did a lot better.
Oh, he well, you know, he did good the first debate, I thought.
You
know what? I didn't pay. You know what? I watched the parts of the first debate when it first aired, and I really didn't pay him any attention because I think Alan has done a good job in the Attorney General's office. I think the Murdaugh thing has really, been a thorn around his neck. But I think he's very well qualified. I really thought Ralph Norman was what really I liked about him is says we've got a highway department that just throws asphalt in the holes and goes up. I right then I liked the guy, but he did not win me over last night. And let me tell you what, I rewatched it again this morning because I knew you were going to be asking me some hard questions. But I got to tell you, Rom really, if I had to go vote right now, like I said, I think people really need to think in the next week before they go early vote, because I think you're going to see a lot of changes. I think you're going to see people get nervous and try to really prove themselves, in which that's usually the kiss of death. But Rom Reddy he's ready, man. He was a thrill to watch. I mean, it really was.
So talking about Alan Wilson, who again, as a human, I mean, I like the guy. I've had conversations with him. I've had meetings with him when I was on council and blah blah blah. But I have a problem. He's part of the machine. That's well established. No argument there. I don't like some of the things that he has done or not done. One, in fact, one of our viewers, I'll put it up here in a second, just mentioned to me, it was asked of Alan Wilson, Attorney General, to release the CVR, the cast vote records, in 2020. He refused to release the cast vote records. That's unparalleled that an Attorney General would not do that. I have a problem with that. I have a problem with some of the things he has done, such as had birthday parties at Williams-Brice Stadium for himself. And I'm not going to go into the money where that went from, but some of the things that he has done, I'm not in favor of.
You must be a Clemson fan.
No, actually, I'm a Carolina fan. But I don't want to pay. I don't want to pay for his birthday party. You know what I'm saying?
Just so everybody understands where I'm coming from about Alan Wilson. I was playing in Gary Simpson's front yard when they brought Alec Murdoch home from the hospital. I think a lot of the Murdoch family, I knew Uncle Buster very well. I knew Randolph. Randolph's just great to me growing up. I have nothing but good things to say about the Murdoch family. But when it comes to Alec is like PJ Tanner. He just needs to go away. He's never going to get out of jail. And I have thoughts about that. And I think Alan is beating this horse to death. I think we're spending a lot of money on this stuff. And I think, I think negotiate it out.
Yeah, we're about to spend, I would imagine, another $3 to $4 million, and I may be way off, maybe more than that, but I wouldn't be shocked.
I would really like to know how many millions of dollars have been changed hands over lawsuits on both sides. Murdoch sues them and them suing them. I mean, just millions of dollars. But everybody who was involved with that, and I grew up in Barnville, I know these people.
Oh yeah.
I think the world of John Marvin and Randy. I think they're great people. Johnny Parker was a rock star in my eyes. I mean, these guys they're tough lawyers, but they're honest people. You know, I mean, as honest as any lawyer can be. I mean, let's be realistic about lawyers. But I think that's probably going to be Allen's downfall in the governor's race.
Very well might be.
Is he keeps beating that drum. And listen, any murder should not go unpunished.
Right.
And that's what I'm saying right now. Here we are. It's just been a cluster negotiated out. It's all egos now. It's all egos. And the only people it's going to cost is the taxpayer. Just
so when it comes to the governor, you're still kicking those around. I'll have to agree with you that Pam Yvette is. I think she is now. I think she's Kimbrell, another great guy, but he has absolutely a snowball's chance in hell. When it comes to Ralph Norman, I like Ralph Norman as a person. Nancy Mace, I'm not a no on her. Only because I know her from running against her. She's a tough one. But you're right about Rom Reddy. And looking at the numbers, and I'm a numbers kind of guy, in 2 to 3 weeks, he came up 19 points. If you look at Trafalgar, which is one of the most prominent polling groups, Trafalgar, he's at 19 points. Wilson is at like 18.5. Nancy is right there. I mean, they're all at 19. Those, like 3 of them. Norman's right there at 18, 19. So you're right. Rom Reddy, I've talked to people on his campaign to get him on here, and he's going to be doing that soon. People may have thought that was a snowball, but it's not. This guy's for real. And Barry, I think my only thing with him, and this is the problem I had with his first debate. He tried to be too much like Trump. Don't try to be like Trump. You be you. You be you, boo. Trump is Trump. Reddy is Reddy, and you just do what you do, and I think he will sail.
If I had to vote right now, I'd vote for Ron. I really would. I got to tell you, I would, because you allowed me to share the air with you. I really wanted to make sure, and on the local race it was really kind of hard to find stuff out about people, and I was really disappointed about it. So when I saw the last debate, then I went back and saw the first debate.
Mm-hmm.
I'll tell you, Ralph was like a typical politician.
He is, because he is.
And I was disappointed in that. I really kind of was leaning in his direction, even though it was really between Allen and Ralph, 2 days ago.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why I say, don't vote early. Wait about a week. You're going to see a lot of people change. A lot of things change. You're going to see people get real. It's going to be interesting what's coming out of the sheriff's race. PJ ain't done yet. It's going to be real interesting.
Barry, you had, as we're running out of time, we were talking earlier, you have a great story about the Commissioner of Agriculture, I believe it is.
Oh, my gosh.
That race has not been a highlight here, only because, Beaufort County is not, heavy farm, that would get into Commissioner of Agriculture, but we should. Tell us what your conversation was.
So I went down and looked and tried to get in touch with all these people, but I actually ran across Jeremy Cannon at the Republican thing. And what struck me was his son. He had a son with him. And he's a 4th generation farmer. And I'm posting on Facebook what he sent me. And it was really interesting about the way the state has worked against the local farmer, and he understands the workings of it. He understands what makes it. He kept telling me, he says, I can't do a good farm and have to drive 25 minutes.
Yeah.
And what he really told me is the South Carolina prison system used to buy all the vegetables and farm stuff from local farmers. They put that out for bid. It's now gone to an institutional broker outside of the state. So it costs the local farmer, period. And then he was telling me about, which was really blew me away. And I'm going to post all this stuff on Facebook, and I hope you post it on your Facebook too. Food Lion actually came to the rescue of the farmer in North Carolina, and it was such a successful program, they brought it. So when you go into Food Lion, and I really tried to get there today just to look at it, you're buying locally grown vegetables. And you're doing that, by the way, you're doing that at Piggly Wiggly. Marty down at Piggly Wiggly. I mean, those are locally owned. The South Carolina grown that you used to see, our elected officials kind of let that go by the wayside. It was really kind of sad that the things, here they are, they took thousands of dollars out of the farmer when they outsourced the prison. And somebody said, well, it was cheaper. Well, hell, I want to ask you a question. What goes around comes around. You feed this, you feed that. You know, if you feed this hand, you know, one hand works on the other hand. I mean, the money stays in the state and it benefits. So it is $2 more expensive. My God, it goes back. Who are these people making these decisions in Columbia, South Carolina?
Yeah.
You know? I mean, you can't be on top of everything all the time, but who is making the decisions?
Yeah.
Where are they coming up with this stuff? If we don't support the local farmer, my neighbor looked at me one time and he says, Barry, you live off the land, don't you? I do live off the land. I'll go to a fruit stand or roadside stand and buy local stuff year round, because that's the way it's supposed to be. You're not supposed to be able to buy a strawberry year round. You know, they're in there. You know, one of my son's doctors up at Johns Hopkins Hospital told me that. It says that's what makes you look forward to the peaches. Yeah. You know, you look forward to the watermelons. I'm a big watermelon guy, but this guy was spot on. And I did go back and I looked up Fred West, big farmer, had 3,500 employees. Cody Simpson, he worked with McMaster. Well, wait a minute. If you worked with McMaster on giving him advice, was the advice to take the food out? I mean, so I looked at all that, and Danny Ford's one of the guys. Little Danny Ford. Yeah. And by the way, Big Danny Ford's still alive. That was
right. He is.
Vicious rumor. I would love to talk to Danny because I think both these guys. I got to tell you, I was just so impressed with Jeremy and his kid. I really was. You know, it just kind of, you know, it just kind of, I don't know why I stopped. Well, I do know why I stopped. I was trying to get rid of Kim Dismusen. She was wearing me out. What a delightful couple. And let me tell you something. This is why I think you should look. This guy, Thomas Dismusen, I don't mean to jump around. Can I jump around?
Yeah. We're running out of time, so you jump all where you want. Thomas Dismukes. Yeah.
Dismukes. You know, I talked to Thomas yesterday. I practiced using that name. I told him, I said, I'm from Barnville, South Carolina. I'll never figure this out. But you know what? He's running a debt-free campaign. He's
Yep.
not, you know. I asked him, I said, well, how much money hold on a second. How much money has Mark Lynch spent? He said, well, I think he spent $4 or $5 million. I said, how much do you think Lindsay spent? Probably about $11 million, you know. I said, how much have you spent? He goes, 3,000 to 4,000. I sat there and I said, you know what? People have got to know about you.
Yeah.
And he's not a lawyer. I asked him, I said, are you a lawyer? Said, no, I'm not a lawyer. What his claim to fame is he's working with really badly abused kids.
Right.
And that's his ministry. And I sent you, do you have what he sent me?
I do. And let's see here.
Listen to the words of this guy. I'm sorry, I don't have, you know, like I said, me and computers don't get along. So
Where is that?
But his wife ran me down. I think she said, who are you going to vote for? I said, well, I'm going to probably vote for Lindsey Graham. Huh?
I got it right here.
Okay. Read that to the people.
He said, if I was supposed to do this whole crazy campaign to meet one person, it was you. If I get the crap beat out of me, it was worth it to have met you. I certainly hope we're neighbors in heaven. How about that?
Let me tell you, he and his wife were such awesome people. That's the only way you can, you know. So I hope that y'all look at who we're voting for. Now, he's probably not going to win.
Right.
Okay. But he's out there. And he's out there on a mission, you know?
That's right. Last, and I hope I have reached out and haven't heard from them. Last race, before we go, Congressional District 1, Nancy Mace's current seat. They had a debate tonight over on Hilton Head. It was Cunningham and Alex Pelbath, Mark Smith. I think that was Dan Brown that was there, and Jenny Costa Honeycutt. They were the only ones there. Duffy Stone was the MC. There's another double that amount that's running. Who's your pick in the CD1?
I reached out to Logan. I really, you know, everybody on Hilton Head is, I think, Mark Smith. I have a problem with Charleston. Okay, mm-hmm. We're always sucking hind tit from Charleston, and I just have a problem with it, you know. And I you know, the best way to learn about people is to talk to other people about people. And Logan has got a very good reputation. Mm-hmm. He's a hard worker. He's done a good job on the Beaufort County Council. I'm gonna go with Logan 100%. I'm gonna throw it in. He was very honest with me at Tom Reed's thing that you and I were at, and I'm in on Logan. I think you got to support the local boy.
So let me dive into that real quick because I'm really out of time. The first thing with Logan was I handpicked him, quote unquote, to run. That was my seat, District 7. That was my seat on council. When I ran for Congress, I gave that seat up, and he took that seat. So, I only say that just to, I don't know, pat myself on the back that I picked the right one, because he is doing a good job. He's really coming into his own. He's really being a positive force on county council. Now, you made a comment about Charleston, and you're right. And why I say you're right is, having run in that race, having run for Congress, I will tell you, and it's a game, and I've played it. Charleston County will never, ever let someone in Beaufort County represent them in Congress. That hind tit, as you called it, yes, that needs to be cut. One of the things I liked about this map redrawing that is now dead, there was a lot of Charleston that was cut out of that.
They're coming back next week, I think.
No, it's dead.
It's dead.
Yeah, it's dead. That was cut out of it, and I was kind of, I don't like the whole map thing, but anyway, I do think for that could have helped, especially Logan. The other thing I'm going to say, and I will probably be voting for him as well. But you know who doesn't support Logan?
Who?
Do you know? The Beaufort County Republican Party does not support Logan Cunningham.
Well, hold on a second, Trigger. Put it back in the stall, dude. I am not, just to let everybody know, I ain't a Democrat. I ain't a Republican. I am a conservative. And I expect everybody to if I pay in $1, I want that dollar to be accounted for. And I think the Republican Party in this area, they go, it's like a beauty contest with these guys. It's not who the most capable person is. It's who they like the best. And that's bullshit. I'm sorry about my language.
It is.
It's just total. And you know what? I saw it when I ran for mayor. You know, you're an outsider. I'm not an outsider. I'm a local boy. I understand the wants and the needs of how to fuel the workforce of Hilton Head. And they're still kicking it down the road. You know, all this pretense about building workforce housing. How many units in that complex is really workforce housing? That's bullshit again. You know, I call bullshit on this. I'm sorry.
No, I'm glad to see the passion.
We're giving these guys millions of dollars worth of tax breaks under the pretense is this going to be affordable housing? Well, it's a crock of stuff. I went through all that. I wanted to be I applied for the job for workforce housing on Hilton Head because I knew the workforce of that island lived off the island and they're never going to come to the island. That's the workforce you got to protect.
If you want to read up on property tax evasion, as I call it, that's kind of what it is. But property tax with these big apartments, candidate Michael Anderson, District 4 in Beaufort, if you go to his webpage, he's an accountant, and he talks about that. He's brought that to light. I was not aware, Barry, of these property tax breaks, loopholes, until he brought it up to me. And I started looking into it, and I was shocked. Now I'm a little pissed.
It's a shell game.
It's a shell game.
I mean,
It's a shell game.
It is. You know, we're going to do this for you. And guess what? Now we're going to talk about Beaufort County, Beaufort Jasper Water. Guess what? These guys are robbing you, and not to sue you, you're on well, but they're robbing me every month because they didn't have the forethought of saying, wait a minute, if we don't charge the developer for these impact fees, we're going to have to charge the user. And oh, by the way, have you talked to any of any elected official anywhere, and you say, what are we going to do about Beaufort Jasper Water Service? They go, oh man, it's a problem. One elected official even said they're poisoning us on a daily basis. Well, guess what? We had brown water in all of Bluffton. They did not notify the public for 2 days until after the fact.
Right.
Then they came out and said, you can't drink it and you can't boil it. So what the hell are you going to do? If without water, guess what? I've got 6 cases of bottled water in my garage right now. I was giving out water to all my neighbors. And you know what? A lot of them didn't even realize they had a problem until I told them.
Yeah.
You know what? The reason how I found out is I was filling up my dog's water bowl. It turned brown because I don't use water. That's crazy. You know what? If we don't get our elected officials, and we've got some good people. We've got good people here. But this is something that needs to be addressed. And it needs to be, I wanted to be on the water. I wanted to be on Jasper Water Commission. Because let me tell you what, I cleaned up PSD number 1.
Yeah, you
I understand how to do that. And you know what? They won't put me on there because I might just start uncovering some. It's awful. Yep. We need people in elected positions and appointed positions that are going to do right by the public. I don't see that in Beaufort Jasper at all. Where are the commissioners? What are they doing? How are they doing? They keep talking about this coal system that they got. Well, my water still stinks, at least once or twice a month. I certainly don't drink it. My dog.
You bring up a good point.
I'll co-host your show anytime.
Buddy, I tell you what, I appreciate you being on here. Yeah, we are. I'm right up against the wall. Barry Ginn, ladies and gentlemen, you'll see him all over town, all over Hilton Head, at watermelon stands. You never know. Watch out for his dogs. They'll lick you to death. They're great.
Let me tell you what. The watermelon, the fruit stand as you're going on Hilton Head. I've known Wesley Campbell since day one. He came into my office and said, I'm going to go in the shrimp and vegetable business. By all means, stop, because they do have fresh vegetables there.
Absolutely. Buddy, I appreciate you being on here.
I love this low country. I love it. I love it. I love it. I'm tired of seeing us put half-assed people in really good jobs.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
I
love you, man.
Hey, love you right back. Nikki Maxey just said, go Barry. Thank you for tuning in, Nikki. Ladies and gentlemen, Barry Ginn, ladies and gentlemen, give him a big round of applause. We will see you soon, my friend. Thank you so much.
Bringing you the best selection of hits for your listening pleasure.
Yeah, so let's get into it.
BigPatriotRadio.com.
All right, we are right up against 9 o'clock, 8:57. And next week, what do we got next week? Joe Mariano for District 5 is going to be on. By the way, I really want to tell Barry, thank you so much for joining me. He is, if you ever get the chance to talk to him, one-on-one, he's something else. Great guy, knows everybody, and he's got stories galore. Joe's going to be on. We're going to have, I'd love to have Doug Seifert on, but probably he won't, because we told him he's not going to win. But hey, still like to talk to you. Logan Cunningham hopefully going to be coming on next week. We're trying to work that out. Still trying to get Nancy Mace and Pamela Yvette really working hard with the folks from the ROM Ready campaign. We're going to have him on here hopefully soon, before too long. Lots to talk about, possibly some of the Jasper County candidates as well. Who knows? That's going to do it for this week. I want to thank everybody for tuning in. Don't forget to go right here before we go. Click on that QR code with your iPhone or your Android, and that'll take you to buymeacoffee.com/Big Patriot Radio. We greatly appreciate that. We're going to be back next week at 7 o'clock Eastern on Facebook, YouTube, and BigPatriotRadio.com. Don't forget to like and share this stream. Click on the notification bells and all that good stuff. Follow us on Facebook. Yes, don't forget the QR code. We greatly appreciate it. Until then, everybody, be safe out there and watch your six. Good night, everybody.
I know I should sleep, but the voices in my head go. I know I should sleep, but the voices in my head go. I know I should sleep, but the voices in my head go. I know I should sleep, but the voices in my head go. Sleep, but the voices in my head go.